Hey y'all, welcome back to Leslie's Mature Makeup and Beauty. Today we've got a full face of Revlon. I've had this stuff sitting here for over a week, I know. And sadly I just heard that Revlon is set to file for bankruptcy. So, I don't really know what's going to happen with the brand. Obviously I have no inside baseball, but I've got several new things, and then I do have some things that I'm going to mention that I've had in my collection for a while that I think are really good. But per usual, we're going to start with our eyes. I've already got my eye primer on. I just used my NYX Ultimate Eye Primer, kind of the one that I use all the time. But I grabbed one of their day to night quads. It's supposed to be new and improved. It says up to 24 hours, but I got the shade Moonlit. And it's just kind of a basic neutral. These shades do look a little bit on the satiny side. Let's swatch them here and we'll see. But just kind of a nice neutral color story. Yeah, they all do look a little bit on the satiny side. This one here didn't really show up too good, but we'll put that on. And then I've also I grabbed this little quad of their cream shadows, and I just wanted to see, was it similar to the ones that they have in the little pots? And the texture does feel different in this little cream quad versus their little pots. I like their little, what do they call these, color stay cream eyeshadows. These are really good, or I think so anyway. They last well on the eyes, and they've got several pretty shades. Of course, I've got a purple and a green because that's what I love. Getting a pretty early start today, so of course I'll show y'all how everything looks in natural light, and then I will check in later today and we'll see how everything is wearing. But let's get started with our eyes. I'm gonna just take kind of a fluffier brush, and I'm gonna go, and you do get one of those little doolollies there. Just gonna go in with this shade here. I don't think they have names. No, they've just got numbers. It's number 3. And we'll start that in the crease. And I am gonna be outside doing some stuff today, so hopefully this foundation will hold up okay. As it is, we're having, summer in Alabama is hot and humid, but it feels like August out there instead of June. Yeah, that's definitely pretty satiny. And it went on smoothly though. I may take a little bit of this not quite deepest shade and put that like directly in my actual crease and kind of work it up a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of something super satiny in that transition area, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to take a flat brush. I'm going to actually go into that same shade on this flat brush and start that in the outer corner. They seem to be applying well. I just wish there was an actual matte shade for like the crease and transition area. Ooh, definitely some fallout from that one. But that's okay. We can brush that away. That's why I like to do my eyes first. And I think I might take one of these cream shadows in this little quad and put on my lid. And it does have a little mirror in there, but that's what those look like. And like I said, the texture is a little bit, it's a little softer, a little creamier than their little pots. I think I'm going to take this one right here. They don't have names, I don't think. You know, I'm actually going to do a brush, I think. A little flat, dense brush. I've actually been wearing quite a bit of cream shadow lately. Just, you know, in the summertime, I just like something kind of quick and easy. You know, just a light BB cream, or a lot of times I'll just do my tinted SPF and, you know, throw on a cream shadow or like a Super Shock on my lid and do a little bit of matte brown in my crease, and or just use some bronzer, and out the door I go. That's pretty. Just kind of try to flick it away. I may take just a little bit of the darkest shade in this little quad and add to the outer corner. I'm just going to use that same flat brush. I'm just going to use the side that I didn't use before. Just do a tiny bit. Then I'm going to take that fluffy brush that we started with and just go over those edges. I may have went a little far in with that, but it's where we're at. So I'm going to take a little bit of this cream shadow that we used and feather that back over that little edge there where I kind of got a little wild. I think I'm going to leave that there. And then for foundation, I grabbed their Color Stay Longwear Makeup. They had one for dry skin that was like a dewier formula, and then they had this one that's for combination to oily skin. I grabbed the shade 250 Fresh Beige, and this actually, it's got SPF in it, but it is actually mineral SPF. You know, most foundations that I've used that have SPF in them are chemical, so I thought that was interesting. But I mean, I would just as soon not have SPF or skincare in my foundation. You know, knock a couple of bucks off the price and just give me just foundation. But it does have a pump, glass bottle, standard 1 ounce pump. Hopefully that's a full pump. You know how it is when you have to prime the pump, and I've not tried this yet, so I'm just going to do some little dots per usual. We'll do 1/2 of the face, and I'm just going to use my Stands Out sponge today. And I did grab a concealer for them, so I'm not going to take this all the way under my eyes. It's really hard to match foundation like in the drugstore. You know, that lighting is just horrible. We may build that up a little bit, but that's what we're looking like. You know, nothing over here except my skincare. And I think this claims to be up to 24-hour wear, transfer resistant, matte poreless finish, absorbs oil and controls shine all day, improves skin's quality day after day. It blends in really easy. I'm going to do just a little bit more because I don't think we got quite a full pump. Since it was not primed yet. And this concealer is going to have, I don't know what I've done there. Concealer is going to have a little work to do today because my under eyes have been looking rough. I've had a little trouble with my allergies, and then the grandbabies, we did a spend the night this weekend, and my granddaughter has not yet spent the night overnight away from her mama, and she is breastfed, and she's used to getting the little ninny at night if she wakes up, and you know, me mom ain't got none of that, so she did not rest well. So I'm still trying to recover from that, but we had a great time either way. I think that looks pretty good so far. It's got good coverage. Doesn't look, you know, heavy or cakey or anything at the moment, so we'll see how that goes. And then I think I'm just going to leave my under eye alone today, or my lower lash line. But for concealer, I grabbed their Color Stay Skin Awaken. It's supposed to have, it's got caffeine and vitamin C. Again, 24-hour. It says it's a 5-in-1 concealer. I'm not sure. Erase and Perfect, Brighten and Hydrate, Refresh. Erase, Perfect, Brighten, Hydrate, Refresh. Yeah, I guess that's their 5-in-1. I got the shade Vanilla. It's got a dang little spongy thing, but this one's actually a little bit on the smaller side. I assume I just squeeze. Yeah. Just give it a little squeeze and it comes up. Now this is a good size, like, sponge tip applicator. You know, the one that I tried recently from Joa, that one was huge. And then I tried that Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. It's been a while ago. That one didn't work for me. Way too drying, but that one had a big sponge tip applicator. Like, this is a good size to actually, like, get in those, you know, smaller areas. And I am going to do some current favorites soon. I think what I really need is like a giant planner. Not necessarily giant, but, you know, like a actual paper planner so I can write things down. Because I have, you know, plans and ideas, and then it seems like everything just goes to crap. Blend it in super easy. So far that concealer looks okay. I think it did a fair job of covering. I may need just a little bit more. I just don't want to overdo it. But these little caverns here they're pretty deep. And they seem to just be getting darker and darker, you know, the older I get, and deeper. Alright, so I'm going to leave that there, let that kind of sit and settle. My face feels just a little bit tacky, but not much. I'm going to do, I did grab just a clear brow gel. I thought I would try this out. It says it's brow fiber filler. It says up to 2 days, but please don't leave your makeup on for 2 days. I don't think that's good for you. But I just grabbed the clear. They had some colors, but the only colors they had didn't look like they would work for me. So this is an interesting little brush. And this does look like it has fibers in it. I don't know how that's going to work with it being clear, but it's kind of got like bristles all over that side, and then also just like a little short side there. So let's see how this goes. That feels pretty dry. Maybe I didn't get anything on there. This feels pretty dry going on. It's kind of a weird, you know, usually when you put a brow gel on, you can kind of feel the let me grab a clean spoolie here. I've got like a big glob of something happening. Not sure how I feel about that. I feel like those little fibers, because that's a clear one, are kind of sticking out, or not sticking out, but like not. Maybe when it dries, it'll be just clear. It feels like it's got a little bit of hold. I'm just not sure how I feel about that. We'll see. Mascara, I grabbed their So Fierce Extend, Lift, and Volumize. It says 98% saw unapologetic length and 96% saw a fierce fan effect. It claims to be flake-free and smudge-free and all that stuff, and I just got the blackest black. It's really pretty red and black packaging. I don't know that I've ever tried a Revlon mascara that I can remember. It's got a silicone wand, which I like. And the wand's a little bit on the flexible side, but that's one coat. Little wet. And of course I'm making a mess. Alright, that second coat's kind of giving me the spidery lashes. So that's 2 coats here, and just the one here. A little bit. Concealer looks like it's starting to crease just a little bit. But that is 2 coats of the mascara. It's giving me a little spider lash. Alright, and then I grabbed one of the this is the only bronzer that I saw that they had, the Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Bronzer. It looks like it might be a little glowy. It's really pretty. I grabbed Sunlit Glow. Yeah, that looks pretty glowy. So I'm just going to do the standard big fat fluffy brush. I heard people talk about this bronzer, you know, that they really love it, but we'll see. I don't mind a little bit of a luminous bronzer, but if it's too luminous, like I don't want it to look like I've got like brown highlight everywhere, if that makes sense. I meant to mention when we're doing our base, I didn't use this today because I just wanted to see how the foundation wears, but this Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Primer is really, it's a good one. So I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. Just going to go in with a light hand, and you know, like the Flower Beauty bronzer has got a little bit of luminosity to it. The Physicians Formula does as well, and you know, I like those. I like the Flower better than the Physicians Formula, but I don't think that's too glowy. I mean, it does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's not bad. I think that's actually pretty. I was kind of not expecting to like it because just looking at it in the container, it looks super, super shiny. So, well. And then I've got these blushes I really like. I've had the shade Apricot for quite a while. Really pretty, pigmented, lasts all day, but I grabbed the shade Rosy Rendezvous, so I thought I'd use this one today. It looks really purpley when I'm holding it up here, but it's I like these blushes. I'm just gonna take kind of a fluffy angled brush, and the shade Apricot says it's a new shade, but it's been saying that for like a year since I bought it, because when I was in store, you know, they're still, that's just really pretty. Like I say, it's a really nice formula. And it lasts well. It is a matte blush. But this is a real, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about these, but these are really nice blushes. I mean, they've got nice pigment, they're buildable, you know, you can shear it out or build it up. And then something else I never hear anybody talk about is, or very few people anyway, are Revlon's lip liners. I love their lip liners. I've got several shades. Their lipsticks, just their bullet lipsticks, are really nice. Their satin, Color Stay Satin Ink, these are a really nice formula. I grabbed another super bright shade just for fun. And then I've also tried their matte light crayon. I think this may be a newer product. These are nice. These kind of remind you of the Maybelline Superstay ink crayons. They're very similar to that, but these Revlon lip liners, I've got 3 of them here. I think I'm going to use the shade Mink today, but these last a super long time. Once they're on there, they're not going anywhere. But like I said, I don't hear a lot of people. I think Emily Noel, I've heard her mention these a few times, but they're just a really nice, they're a automatic pencil, but they're just really good. they go on super easy, and like I say, they last. And this shade Wine is a really pretty kind of deeper shade. And like I say, once you've got this on, it ain't going nowhere. And of course, all of my lipsticks are very similar shades. I've got Bare It All, Sassy Mauve, and Blushing Mauve. Imagine that. I may take Bare It All. And I have, all of the ones I have are their cream formulas. But they're really comfortable. I mean, you know, it's a bullet cream lipstick, so it's not going to be the longest lasting. But they feel really good. I like them. So let's see. Because that's Sassy Mauve, Blushing Mauve, and then this is Bare It All. I think I'm going to take a little bit of Bare It All and just kind of put in the center. I said I was putting it in the center. I put it everywhere. But like I said, those are just, they feel great on the lips. Those lip liners last forever. You know, I'm really surprised by this bronzer. I did not think I was going to like this as much as I do. So that's interesting. These blushes, like I say, I've used these many times. They are fantastic. You know, we'll see how this foundation wears. I'm not so sure about that brow gel. We'll have to give it, you know, give it a couple of tries. The concealer's looking a little on the rough side. The foundation so far is looking really good. But let's go outside and we'll take a look in the bright sun. All right, so per usual, I'm going to stand here and talk to you for a second, then we'll go out in the bright sun. I went and took a look at everything, like, you know, just in my regular mirror. The only thing that I'm not super excited about is this eyeshadow quad. I wish they would have had like a straight matte shade in there, but it's not bad. I think the foundation looks really good. I'm really surprised by that bronzer. The mascara, you know, we'll see how it wears. I feel like it's, you know, was getting a little bit on the spidery side. But I'm going to step out here in the bright sun and we'll take a good look at everything. And then, like I say, it's pretty early-ish. It's about 9:30. So I will check in with you guys this afternoon and we'll see how everything is wearing. So yeah, I'll see y'all in a bit. Alright, so today is a totally different day. The first day that I tried all this makeup out, I got super duper sweaty. So, you know, the foundation really didn't have a fighting chance because I tend to, you know, just kind of wipe my face or wipe it with a towel. So I didn't think that was really fair. So, you know, I tried some of the stuff again. I'm going to insert a picture here of the eyeshadow on that first day. You know, I mixed the quad, well, these two quads I mixed together and it creased something terribly, as you can see here. Now today I just used the little quad, but it's definitely faded. I'm 10.5 hours in, if I didn't mention that to begin with, but I used this kind of deeper shade in the outer corner and it's really, you know, it's pretty much faded away. So I don't recommend either of these, but their little Color Stay cream eyeshadows in the little pots, these are really good. They hang on, you know, all day without creasing, and it's a totally different formula than what this is. This is a lot more emollient. So these little cream shadows in the pots are good, but neither of these I don't think are all that great. The mascara, this So Fierce mascara, it smudged terribly. So I did not love that either. The brow gel, maybe it's good in the colored form with the little fibers, but with this being clear and having the little fibers in it, like you could see the little fibers, like they didn't, you know, they didn't just like blend into my brows, so it looked like I had just little white hairs or little white flecks of stuff in my brows all day, and it really didn't hold them that well either, so not a huge fan of that. Foundation, at 10.5 hours. You can say I'm not that shiny. I did not put any powder on this morning, no primer, and I haven't powdered today. Now it is starting to wear off a little bit in the center of my face, but it's kind of faded gracefully. And I did have a few dry patches around my chin. It's kind of clung to those a little bit, but it didn't settle into my lines or wrinkles, and it really has seemed to, keep the oils at bay pretty good. So after about 8 hours is when I really started to notice it kind of fading, but it's kind of faded gracefully. I don't feel like it's faded in a weird patchy way. And I had my grandbabies today, and my granddaughter, when she's taking a bottle, likes to pull at my mouth and play with my mouth. So I've still got a little foundation around there even with that. Now what I really did like, I was really impressed with this bronzer. It looks like it's going to be like super shiny, highlighty. Now it does have a little bit of a kind of a sheen to it, but I think it's really pretty. I was pleasantly surprised by that. These blushes, I already knew I love them. You can see they're still, I used Apricot this morning. These hang on well all day. Nice pigmentation. Love those. Their lip pencils are some of the longest lasting lip pencils I think I've ever tried. These are just the shades that I have. These are really good. Their Color Stay Matte Light Crayon is very similar to the Maybelline Super Stay Ink Crayons. I like those. Their Color Stay Satin Ink. These are nice. Their cream lipsticks are really good. Great formula. Concealer. It is not, y'all probably can't tell, but it's kind of worn off weirdly. I've got like a patch of concealer here, and then it's breaking up everywhere. It's just not real flattering, which I've tried it twice now, and it just doesn't look the best. So my absolute favorite things are blushes, lips, blushes, bronzers, lips, and then I think this foundation is pretty good for like an 8-hour day. If you want it to go 10, 12 hours, it's still, I think it still looks pretty good. So those are kind of my final thoughts. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and bye y'all.